Hey y'all, Matt here, part 8 of the Ruth study, and today we're going to be in Ruth chapter 3 verses 14 through 18. We're going to wrap up chapter 3, and next week we'll head into chapter 4. If you haven't seen the previous videos, go ahead and go back and watch that playlist so you know what we're talking about. Unfortunately, we don't have much time for a recap here, but what we've seen in chapter 3 is Naomi told Ruth, hey, you need a husband. And she has Boaz in mind because she knows Boaz is a family redeemer, and so she gives Ruth some very specific directions of how she's to approach him at night while he's on the threshing floor. And Ruth goes out and she does this, and unfortunately, while he promises that he will redeem her, there's somebody else in the line in front of him, and that person has to be exhausted first. And so we're kind of left there. Ruth is about to leave, and we're going to see what happens. So the scripture says in verse 14, "So she lay at his feet until the morning, but arose before anyone could recognize another. And he said, let it not be known that the woman came to the threshing floor. And he said, bring the garment you are wearing and hold it out. So she held it, and he measured out 6 measures of barley and put it on her. Then she went into the city, and when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, how did you fare, my daughter? Then she told her that all the man had done for her, saying, these 6 measures of barley he gave to me, for he said to me, you must not go back empty-handed to your mother-in-law. She replied, wait, my daughter, until you learn how the matter turns out, for the man will not rest, but will settle the matter today." All right, so in verse 14, we see Ruth is leaving Boaz early while it's still so dark outside. People can't tell who she is. And a lot of this is just to protect her noble character, so people wouldn't see her out there and think that, hey, she's a prostitute, or, you know, there's something going on there that isn't, you know, within their moral standards of the Israelite culture, the Jewish culture. But what we see first before she leaves in verse 15 is that Boaz puts more barley in her cloak. Scripture says that he put 6 measures. We don't know how much one of these measures were because it's not a quantity, but we know that he is wanting to provide for her. He doesn't want her to go back in empty-handed, and this again shows his generosity, but it also gives Ruth reason to leave early. If somebody did see her leaving, they would see her leaving with this barley, and that would give her a reason to be out there in the field. They would know that she came and got some barley, and now she's going home already. And so it wouldn't look as bad to people that saw her, that witnessed her leaving. When she gets back, of course, you know, Naomi's probably been up all night waiting for her to return so she can hear what happened, how it went. But Ruth quickly fills her in on what happened and shows her the barley. But the thing about this that's really cool is that when we've talked about this before, when Ruth and Naomi arrived here, they had 2 needs that they needed to be met. The first one was that they needed to be provided for because they were empty-handed. They had no food, which was their means of survival. And so that was one need that needed to be provided for. And then number 2, they needed somebody to take care of them. Ruth needed a husband. More than likely, Naomi is too old to be remarried, and more than likely, she's relying on Ruth in order to help provide for her. And if Ruth remarried, part of the duties of a Israelite husband would be to help take care of the mother-in-law. And so this is another need that needs to be met. The first need has been met from the time that Ruth started gleaning in the field, because Boaz was extremely generous. He gave her all of the grain that she could possibly need. And then again here when she leaves, he's providing for her again. So their needs are met as far as food goes. This was probably a plenty of grain for them to survive off of. They already have the grain that she had already gleaned in the beginning chapters, and if you remember, it was enough for a grown man to survive probably for at least a week or more. So it's probably plenty for these 2 women. But we're also starting to see this second need met. By sending that back with Ruth, Boaz is sending a message that he's already starting to take care of them. And what we're going to see is, while unfortunately all of these needs can't be met here, we have to check off this other kinsman redeemer first before Boaz can step in. He's showing her, he's making a step forward towards redeeming them and caring for them. And so while they don't have the complete answer to this marriage proposal that Ruth threw out at him, he has promised that he's going to take care of them, and he's exhibiting this by giving them the grain and providing for them in that way. But next Friday, when we get into this chapter 4, we're going to see how basically what happens. What's the end result here? What's the Lord going to do with this situation with Boaz and Ruth? Is Boaz going to be able to redeem her, or is this other man going to redeem her? And for that, we're going to go to the city gate, and that's where chapter 4 is going to begin next Friday. But I hope this has been beneficial. I hope you're enjoying this study in Ruth. I hope you'll tune in Monday and Wednesday next week. We'll do random study videos, and then Friday it'll be part 9 of the Ruth study as we get towards the end of this study. We probably only have a couple more weeks left, so check those videos out. If you have any topics or anything you'd like to see in videos, text me, email me. If you need a study Bible in your local, same thing, I'd love to give you one. But until Monday, I love y'all. Blessings.